Okay guys, now let's connect our electronics to the power strip. If your power strip is connected to a GFCI compliant power outlet, make sure that GFCI actually works. They sell little testing kits at a hardware store to check that GFCI works. If you're connected to that type of outlet, then make sure that your power strip does not have a trip protection because you are protected at the outlet. If your outlet does not have the GFCI, then make sure your power strip has the rocker switch and it has an internal breaker with protection. Make sure that your power strip is rated for 15 amps and the cable is rated for 15 amps. It's very important. When you connect the system to power for the first time, make sure that you start with the pump only. Before you turn on the power strip, make sure that all the rad valves are in the open position. These are all open, they're all parallel, because we want to confirm that the water is flowing before we connect the chiller to power. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to power. Now let's turn on the pump. You will immediately notice all of the air pumping out and that our water filter bottle is on. Now what I recommend to do, if you do it this first time, you turn off the pump after running it for like 10 seconds, waiting 5 more seconds and turning the pump one more time. And you will notice that a lot more bubbles left the filtration bottle, okay? And now you're seeing that we have strong water flow going into your tub. Pay attention to your water flow. This is what your starting flow looks like. It should be very powerful and strong. Yeah, your water flow will look differently depending on your tub. Now that the water is flowing, you want to check all of the connections for any leaking. So for example, this one's leaking a little bit right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen our hose clamp. We're going to adjust it, the placement of it, and I'm going to re-tighten it. Now that the water is circulating, you want to check the connection here. If you had a little drip or a leak between the tubing and your valve, you would simply loosen your hose clamp, reposition the hose clamp, re-tighten it, and watch the drip go away. If you try this a couple times to remedy the issue, if you continue to seeing an issue, make a video and send it to support@revexwellness.com. Now that you've confirmed that the water is circulating and there are no leaks, you can safely now connect the chiller and the UV to your power strip. The UV will automatically start to work. If you ever wonder if your UV is working, we have a little window right here, and at night you will see a nice purple glow. The UV bulb that's inside there is good for up to 8,000 hours, which equals to about a year. We will have a separate video on how to replace that UV bulb, but you will need to replace it once a year. All right, now let's talk about the chiller. This is the control panel. If the LED light is not illuminated, the chiller is technically off. Even though it's showing you the numbers, the chiller right now is off. The top numbers is the present value. This is the temperature that is inside the tub. Well, technically, it's the temperature that's inside the water tank, inside the chiller, which is 62 degrees. So this 62 degrees is what's inside the chiller, and the top temperature is actually different by about 2 degrees. And this is set value. So this is what you want your temperature to be. To change this temperature, press the set button and then go up or down. Let's go down to 40 degrees. And this is the temperature we want. And you will see that the chiller will automatically save that. And going forward, that this is going to be your set value. So for the chiller to turn on, we're going to turn this on. You will see that the indicator light turned on. And that the cold light started to blink. This means that the chiller is now getting ready to go into cooling mode. It takes 3 to 5 minutes for it to go into cooling mode. And what the chiller will do is it will cool the water from 62 down to 40, and then the chiller will turn off. and then it will wait for the present value to go up by 5 degrees to 45, and then the chiller will turn on automatically and bring it down to 40, just like your thermostat in your home for your air conditioner. This is all clearly written right here, and it also has a nice warning here that you never want to turn this chiller on if the water is not circulating, because it will damage the chiller. So never turn this chiller on unless the water pump in your filtration system is circulating the water. All right, so the cooling light's been blinking for a few minutes now. It's about to go into cooling mode. When it does that, the fan will turn on and this cold light will become solid and not blinking. And in about 10 seconds after that, you will hear compressor click in. And that is how loud our chillers are. It's about 50 dB or so. It sounds just like a loud floor fan in your house. So let's wait for that to happen. Okay. All right, so the fan just kicked in. The light will stop blinking and become solid in a couple seconds here, and you will hear the compressor kick in. And when the compressor kicks in, it will be just a humming noise, no rattling, nothing. There you go. The compressor just kicked in. The light is now solidly illuminated. So this is as loud as the system will ever get. So this is cooling mode. Once the cooling mode is complete and the temperature is 40, it will the complete light will be illuminated. Okay. If you guys have a Wi-Fi module, watch a different video on how to connect your chiller to Wi-Fi.